Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series live at Kentucky Motor Speedway tonight. And it's a special race for sure for the Hyperdrive Cup Series drivers here. That's because this race here at Kentucky is going to be the regular season finale. We're going to lock in the 12 drivers that are going to start racing next week at Atlanta for the 5-race chase to the championship. So this is it right here. This is your chance to lock in to the top 12, get yourself in the top 12 in points. It is the final race to get up in that top 12 and have a shot at competing for a championship over the next 6 weeks. Count this week. So important race for a lot of these drivers right here, any of them that might be outside of that top 12 looking in. Kentucky could very well be the track that gets them there. And on the other side of that, any of them that are close, Kentucky might be the track that gets them out of there. So definitely going to be a great race at Kentucky here tonight. It is a night race. It's actually my 3rd straight broadcast at Kentucky this week. It's pretty cool. 3 different cars, so I haven't seen the Cup cars go around here yet this week, but I'm going to see it tonight. And it's pretty cool when you can do that and accomplish that in a week, I guess, the last 3 nights in a row. And night number 3, so I'm good and warmed up. I'm ready for the broadcast here. And I want to thank everyone at Swift Motorsports for tolerating me week in and week out. And I know we're getting closer to winding the season down, but I've had a lot of fun this season. Met a lot of great drivers over here at Swift, and really been a ton of fun watching the broadcast numbers go up just a bit. I want to thank everyone that tunes in and helps with that. Make sure that you give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click that button. We're going to bring you all these races live as they happen. And we have about 5.5 minutes of practice left right now. You're watching the cars go around in practice, and loving that we have that static camera view right here. A little bit better sound of the cars when they come by the camera, and just a different feeling for the entire broadcast, and taking a look at multiple cars coming around instead of the same ones and whatnot. But like I said, we are on race number 10. It is the regular season finale, and we'll lock our 12 drivers in for the chase. That don't mean that they'll be the only 12 drivers racing come Atlanta, because we'll have the entire field there, but 12 of the drivers will be competing for a championship over those 5 races. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see who that top 12 is tonight. And we'll have to get a quick update after the race. I'll keep the broadcast up until they get the points updated, so we can bring you that top 12, and that way the viewers know who it is, and I know who it is. We can talk a little bit about that top 12 in points, though. Looking at the standings right now on the website. Points leader, no surprise right there. It's the 51 of Michael Mueller. Mueller has 6 wins on the season. So the 51 car definitely going to have no problem. He's definitely locked in. 6 wins on the season for that car. That's a driver it's going to be hard to stop in those final 5. But I'll tell you, his teammate and second in points right now is a driver who could have an answer for him, and that's Andrew Maraz, driver of the 28 car. Andrew has been strong all season long, and he had a win slip away from him last week over some fuel strategy. So I'd look for that driver to be strong here at Kentucky, and definitely strong through the final 5 chase races. So sitting third in points is a 0-1 car of Cody Sleeper. Cody is the sleeper in the top 12. And I'm not saying that to pick on Cody, but Cody is very consistent, and you see him up there sometimes, but he's not catching your attention all the time. But Cody Sleeper is very consistent, and that's why he's sitting in the top 3 in points. He has 6 top 10 finishes this season. 6 out of 9 races. So Cody Sleeper definitely with the consistency and not one to count out. Sitting 4th in points, another driver. He's caught my attention a lot because he moves to the front from the back quite a bit. And that driver is going to be the driver of the 82 car, Mike Franklin. So Franklin's another driver that these, like with Cody Sleeper, I think that Franklin needs a momentum boost. And maybe Kentucky could be the track that one of those 2 drivers could get it from. I mean, if you sneak out of here with a win, whether it might be on a little fuel strategy at the end or, I mean, whatever it takes, if you can get out of Kentucky with a win, you'll go to Atlanta next week with a ton of momentum. So sitting 4th in points, and he's actually tied for 4th with Mike Franklin, so we'll technically call it 5th in points. It's going to be the driver of the 17, Tommy Haynes. So Tommy is he's a pretty good ways above the cutoff in the top 5 in points. That 17 car has been fast, a driver that's capable of winning. And winning multiple races when he does it. So the 17's definitely got the speed. He looks like he's going to be pretty safe as a lock-in for the chase. And that 17's definitely going to be a contender and a car to keep your eyes on. And right behind him in the 6th position in points is going to be John Wimbish. Wimbish, we interviewed him a lot. We interview the top 3 after every race, and beginning of the season and early in the season, we talked to the driver of the 56 car quite a bit. He's had some bad luck in the last couple of races, so I'm going to bet you right here that he's looking to turn it around a little bit and get some of the momentum swinging back his way. So I think for John tonight, he's pretty safe in points, it looks like, but he's going to need a momentum shift going into the chase, and I think Kentucky might be the perfect place for John to get that. 7th in points, going to be the league owner over here, Justin Gannon. The 30 car knocked off a win this season at Chicagoland, and when he did it, he had a fast hot rod and pretty much was dominant. So we know what Justin's capable of with the 30 car, and he'll definitely be a contender those last 5 races. The 30's going to be one to watch out for, and he's definitely one I'd keep my eyes on. So Justin Gannon, the 30, I think, has a really, really, really strong shot at not just coming out of Kentucky with a strong finish tonight, but being a strong contender in the championship. All right, we may have went to qualifying, actually. That's why it got quiet on the racetrack. So we were up to 7th, I believe. So 8th in points is going to be the 3 car, Roy Fernandez. Roy's got 3 top 5 finishes, so we know Roy's fast. And we're going to change cameras around and see if we can get on some of these cars qualifying, like the 88 of Steve Lull right here. Well, let's see here. Back to my points. Roy Fernandez, 8th place in points, coming into here. Pretty much, he would have to have a really bad race not to make it to the final 12 or lock himself in points. So Roy's a fast car, 3 top 5 finishes this season, like I was saying, and definitely going to be a contender in the chase as well and someone to keep an eye on. 9th place, the 64 car, Jason Wells. Jason's been strong, and he's been strong where it counts, and that's later in the season. So the 64 car has been much more consistent as we've gotten later into the season, and that's when you want to gain the momentum. So watch out for that 64 car. And did I skip someone? Nope, 10th place, Jonathan Cogswell. 27 car, Cogswell. Couple of top 10 finishes this season. been very consistent, though. When he's not in the top 10, he might be 11th, 12th, or 13th. So Cogswell's had a lot of consistency. That's why he's sitting where he's at in points. Something could happen. You know, any driver that comes out of the top 12 after this race will certainly be a contender, and I think Cogswell's one of them cars we'll keep an eye on for that. 11th in points. Not completely safe, as he's only five points ahead of that cutoff mark. That's going to be the 91 of Blair Patterson. Patterson does have a top 5 finish this season, actually, and he's got like 4 or 5 top 10s. We'll look at it. He's got 3 top 10 finishes. So the 91 car we've seen have speed, so we know what he's capable of. And I would think the 91's another one that could be dangerous in this thing, and if he breaks out and gets some consistency, then watch out for him. But he's got to get there first, and he's in there now, but he's not. He's got 5 points over the cutoff, about 12 points over. Well, let me see here. He's back 5. Okay, he's 14 points over the 2 drivers tied for 12th. So that would be like 14 positions on the track. So he does have a little bit of a cushion. He just needs to take care of his car here tonight. And I think he could probably safely lock himself in with a decent finish. Here's the battle. Tied in points right now for that final spot is going to be the 13 of Cody Mcfadden and the 23 of Keith Vaughn. Those 2 drivers are tied in points right now for the top 12. Both of them not going to get in there. Only 12 of these drivers are going to go. So there's your battle for that top 12. McFadden's got 4 top 10 finishes this season. Vaughn doesn't have any top 10s. So it's going to be a great battle there. But we've seen Keith Vaughn have speed. And we know that Cody Mcfadden's got not just speed but consistency. So watching that battle unfold between those 2 drivers, you know, whoever finishes better than the other one tonight pretty much going to punch his ticket. But the one not too far back from them, about 7 points back, is going to be the 99 of Jarrett Lipster. And then right behind him, you got Nathan Moore, Cody Lipster, Doug Neal, and Andre Ruiz. So Ruiz, we've seen the speed that he's had this season. And you just got guys that are back there that are capable, if you have some bad luck, of jumping out and punching their ticket to the chase. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got a couple car numbers to watch there, the 13 and the 32. We know that they're the 2 that are tied at that cutoff point. So we'll watch them as we're going to wrap up qualifying right here, do a quick driver's meeting, and let's take a look at the starting grid. Starting on the pole, that's going to be that number 17 of Tommy Haynes. I talked about him. He went out there and set fast times, so Tommy's ready for Kentucky. And he'll try to carry that momentum to the chase with him. To his outside in second, that'll be that 25 of Willie Nelson. We've seen how fast Willie was last week. Starting third is going to be the 28 of Andrew Maraz. No surprise right there. Maraz has been fast. Dominated the race at Darlington last week. He didn't have the race play out the way he wanted to, and some guys went farther on fuel, and was a little bit of an upset for Andrew last week. But I'll tell you what, he's got the momentum right now, in my opinion, and the 28's really one to look out for right here at Kentucky. To his outside, though, 09 of Andre Ruiz, he just needs a little luck to go his way. Ruiz has had a fast car on I don't know how many occasions, but he hasn't had the finishing result in that number 1 spot to make up for it. Maybe Kentucky's where Ruiz changes all that, and he gets that top spot down, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, continuing on right here. 5th place starter is going to be the 7 of Brian Tong. To his outside in 6th, you'll have the 64 of Jason Wells. Starting 7th will be Nathan Moore in the 97. And to his outside in 8th, you're going to have Michael Mueller in the 51. Starting 9th, one of the bubble drivers right there. Tied for 12th, that's the 13 of Cody Mcfadden. And his outside in 10th is going to be the 56 of John Wimbish. Starting 11th is going to be the 18 of Casey Duncan, and his outside in 12th will be that number 30 of Justin Gann. Starting 13th, last week's winner, the number 32 of Darren Clement. In his outside in 14th, the number 91 of Blair Patterson. Starting 15th here, you'll see the 96 of Cody Lipster, and his outside in 16th will be that 3-car Roy Fernandez. Starting 17th, 02 of David Kamar, and his outside in 18th. Watch out for him here at Kentucky. That's the 82 of Mike Franklin. Starting 19th, another one close to that top 12 in points, and might be able to race himself into the chase right here in Kentucky. Watch him, the 99 of Jarrett Lipster. Starting 20th, you'll see the 88 of Steve Law. In 21st, we'll have the 01 of Cody Sleeper. And in 22nd, you'll see the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. Starting 23rd is going to be Doug Neal driving a 77, and his outside in 24th will be John Kenyon in the 43. Starting 25th, one of the drivers tied for the top 12 in points will be the 23 of Keith Vaughn. To his outside, it shows Andy Starcher, but we know he's an admin. Don Kidder's an admin, but we have Terry Kahn that'll be starting 27th. And bringing up the rear of the field here is going to be the number 100 of Shane Bliss. So drivers' meeting going on. Cars are on the racetrack right now. We're waiting for them to load into their cars. They do that drivers' meeting, so it's going to take a couple of minutes here as we see a couple of the drivers sitting there. I do like how they start them here at Kentucky sideways on the in an angle on pit road. And now we see the 33 of Terry Kahn jump into his race car here. That chrome paint, that Cheerwine paint, looks really good, but it'll be a little dark at Kentucky for some reason. We've seen that all week with the chrome cars, so bear with us if it's a little bit dark. It's just the lighting at Kentucky, in my opinion. So we got drivers that are starting to get up on the grid right now, and we're going to go up front to the pole sitter. That's that 17 car right there, Tommy Haynes. I watch this because I don't have a driver's license. Well, even if you did have a driver's license, it wouldn't stop you from watching it, right? Nation's barely got a driver's license, Tofu, so he's right there with you, buddy. He's barely got one, just barely holding on to it. And we got a driver's meeting going on, like I said, and we're going to get to some racing here. I'm going to have to look and see how many laps it was. I have that info on here somewhere. 124 laps tonight, so it's pretty typical for a league race lap-wise, and shouldn't take, well, I guess the time it takes depends on how many cautions we have, and this league doesn't have very many. I can probably count on one hand how many cautions they've had all season, counting all the races so far. So when you can do that, you know, you come into Kentucky here and you don't expect to see that number go up any. These are very competitive and very clean drivers. They respect each other a lot out there on the track, and that usually leads to clean racing. So here we go. Drivers are pacing behind the pace car. We're coming off pit road right now, and we're going to get ready to do some racing right here at Kentucky. Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series coming at you. Race number 10 on the season. Final cutoff race before we go to the chase. Man, I feel like I did more talking before the broadcast than I do most broadcasts, but I don't think I did. We got a ways to go here. 124 laps. Going to be a ton of fun. Glad you could jump in and join us here. Share the broadcast. We ain't got enough viewers in here. Get them watching. Let's go. Put it in the chat if you got something to say or a favorite driver you want to give a shout out to. We're going to give them a little camera time if you put their car number in the chat. And they are 2x2 behind the pace car. Tommy Haynes in the 17, Willie Nelson in that black 25 car. 28, Andrew Maraz, 09 out there, Andre Ruiz. And we are off to green flag racing in Kentucky with the Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series. And you see the 17 of Tommy Haynes, not going to waste any time on this start, going to go right to the front, right where he started, and stay there. We're going to watch two-car battles, and when we get back towards the later, well, it'll be the back of the top 10. We got to restart timing and scoring just like every time. So you're on the 88 of Steve Law. Get this straightened out. Give me just a minute. There we go. Now we can go up closer to the front. Side-by-side battle, 28-25. Maraz, ooh, a little bit of contact. The 25 is going to hit the outside wall. That's going to cost Willie Nelson a bit. He's going to lose a couple of spots right there on that transition. So a little contact with the outside wall. The car doesn't look like it's hurt. I think Willie's going to get it under control right here and go back after it. You see the 25 hung out on the outside, and on fresh tires like this, not really a good spot to be as he battles next to the 64. But he's got Mcfadden in the 13 right there. Remember, Cody Mcfadden in that 13 car is one of the drivers racing to get that tiebreaker taken care of and solidify his position in the top 10 in points right here at Kentucky. So Mcfadden's got to have a good race. But you see Willie Nelson might get back in line in front of the 64 Jason Wells. He is. He's going to sneak in there. But you go back and you got drivers battling again. The 56 of John Wimbish working to the inside of that 13. You got the 51 of Michael Mueller, 18 of Casey Duncan. You see the 30 back there, Justin Gannon. We got a good group of drivers right here. 13 car, though, racing for his life this race. Cody currently sitting in the, straighten that out. Cody's currently sitting in the 8th position. So good, solid top 10, but we'll take a look at where his competitor is that he's tied with in points. Keith Vaughn right here, who he come in tied with, is sitting back in the 23rd position. So Cody's doing what's necessary right now. Meanwhile, back up front, I said it before the race, and he needs some good luck. He's showing some speed right now, the 09 of Andre Ruiz. Moving up to the P2 spot, putting pressure on the leader, that 17 of Tommy Haynes. And, man, I think we might get a race for the lead here pretty quickly. 6 laps in right now. Now 7 as they go by the line. So Ruiz is there, close to the bumper of that 17. Now he's going to look to the inside a little bit. Almost had a run in the position on him right there. Let's see what he can do off the corner. Ruiz going to get a great run off the corner. Now he's going to take a look underneath of the 17 car. They're going to drive off into turn 3 right here through turns 3 and 4. Might have been a little too tight right there for Ruiz to be able to stay up next to him. So Andre Ruiz in the 909 showing a little speed. Right behind him though, is Andrew Maraz in that 28 car. Maraz you better watch out for. Dominated in Darlington last week. Little field strategy late race didn't quite work out for Andrew, but it wasn't because he didn't dominate the race or didn't have the speed, because the 28 car the 28 car was a rocket last week. He's been a rocket for the last 3 or 4 weeks. This driver not just dangerous at Kentucky, but he's going to be dangerous in the chase as well. That 28 car may be going into the chase next week with more momentum than any other driver in the field right now. And you can see that he is catching up to the leaders a little bit. Ruiz able to get to the 17, but not able to get around them, which, you know, the old saying is you can catching the guys one thing and passing them's another. So you've seen the 09 get up there. He's just being patient right now, it looks like. Couldn't get around him. Now Andrew Maraz is closing up on him a little bit. But I'll tell you, another impressive run's that 7 car right there, Brian Tong. Tong's a driver we haven't talked a lot about this season, but he's shown speed on a couple of different racetracks, and Kentucky here tonight is one of them. He's got Nathan Moeller in the 97 behind him. And then the 25 of Willie Nelson, after his battling, is going to settle down in the 6th position right in front of Jason Wells' 64. And don't count that 25 out. Fast at Darlington last week. I'm pretty sure he'll find his way back up towards the front here. Behind him, like I said before, is that 64 Jason Wells. Then you go back one more, and Cody Mcfadden's grabbed another spot, moved it up to the 8th position right now. So the driver of that 13 car definitely is aware of the point situation, and he's going to try to seal that deal tonight. One way when you're tied, for that final spot to make sure you get in there is to go out and win it. So watch out for the 13. I'm going to say Cody is on a mission. Right behind him's a fast driver. That's the 51 of Michael Mueller. I think Mueller's just taking his time right now. I don't think he's stressing it, pushing the car or the tires or anything, and I think he's just cruising and taking it easy right now. Locked into the chase, so you ain't got to take a chance of tearing the car up too early and not having nothing to race with in the end. You go back to 10th, you'll see that 56 of John Wimbish. He's in a little bit of a battle, though, with the 18 of Casey Duncan. Wimbish has got that 10th spot, but I believe Casey Duncan might want it as he's taking a look to his inside right now. Working side by side through 1 and 2 here. Coming out of 2 and down the back straightaway, the 56 on the outside is going to get a little bit more momentum, pull ahead, but down into 3 and 4, the 18 is going to send it a little deeper. Going to have to check up, though, and that's going to give Wimbish the spot. So Wimbish is going to maintain that top 10, but Justin Gannon is moving in on these two. 30-car Gannon right there. Seen the sparks fly a little bit, but look at him work that outside right around the 18 of Casey Duncan. So the 30's found something up there in that upper line and using it, taking advantage of the momentum right here. Definitely working a little higher line in 1 and 2. He's going to run about the same line as the rest of them in 3 and 4 here. Working lap 16 on the race right now, and clean and green so far. No caution flags, and that's kind of what I told you. That's what I expect when you can count the number of cautions on one hand that this series has seen all season. You can pretty safe bet know that you're going to be racing for it. But the 17 of Tommy Haynes, really impressed right now. He got a little pressure from the 09, but he fought it off. He fought the pressure off. He's got about a half a second on him right now, so the 17's definitely fast right here. And this is a track, being the 10th race of the season and the final one before the chase, that you could really, winning this is going to give you momentum. There's no doubt about it. And you carry that momentum, and the confidence into the chase, then that's going to make you a contender when you show up at Atlanta. But Andre Ruiz, 09 car, what can you say? I mean, I can count multiple races this season. He's been fast. But he's got to get the finish. He needs to get that finish and solidify it. And I said all season long that win was coming, and I'm going to stand behind that. The 09's got the speed. He's got to close the deal. So maybe tonight, Kentucky is the night that Andre gets it done. And we're going to find out in about 105 laps. So Maraz, the hot shoe coming into here, back in the 3rd spot right now. He's fallen off of the front two a little bit. I don't know if that's due to tire wear or if Maraz, just taking care of that tire so he don't wear it too fast. I guess that would be tire wear. Either way you look at it. You don't want to wear the tire too fast, and you want to have a right front and a right rear at the end of the run, So fourth place, though, the 97 of Nathan Moore. And this driver's impressing me right now. 20 laps into the run, Moore able to keep the 97 car right up here in the top 4. But he's going to have some company. I'm going to tell you, that 25 car right there, he's up into the 5th spot. And since he got, since he had a little bit of trouble earlier fighting for that 3rd position, that 25 just kind of settled down and is going after it. So you can see him right now running the 97 down. Then we're going to go back to this battle. Brian Tong in the 7, 13 of Cody Mcfadden, 51 of Michael Mueller. And the reason I want to jump back here is because McFadden's grabbed another spot. He's up to the 7th position right now. So if you don't think the 13's on the gas pedal, he's just picking them off one by one right here. Cody Mcfadden knows what's at stake, and he wants to make sure that he can seal the deal in Kentucky tonight, but he's still got a ways to go, about 102 laps to take care of that car and make sure he's got something to finish this thing with. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. So one more back. I told you to watch out through the run. He's on the back bumper of Cody Mcfadden, and it looks like he's going to go for a position right here, and he does. Cody's going to let him go. That's a wise thing to do right here. Cody's in the top 10, having a great race. Let the 51 go if he's a little farther late or a little faster later on in the run. So Mueller's going to move up to 7th. McFadden back to 8th. Jason Wells in the 64 right there's in the 9th position. Wells driving that Alienware paint job. I like it. I like the paint. We're going to check it out because I like it. Man, I'll tell you what, we'll even get a closer view of it. There we go. That's a little bit closer. Got the little alien on the hood. Logitech on the back bumper there. So he's got the whole gaming thing going on that race car. He puts Fanatec on it, and he'll really have the whole sim racing deal figured out. So now we go back to 10th, and Justin Gannon has got it. He's got it. The 30 car moving into the top 10 right here. You see Wimbish in the 56 behind him, and we're 25 laps in now. Man, we got a good race so far. 25 clean and green. Green flag pit stops will be coming up before too long. And we're going to move back up front momentarily. I'll take a look at these two cars. That's Tommy Haynes, the leader, 0.4 of a second over the 09 of Andre Ruiz. Haynes having a good race. Started on the pole. He's led all 26 laps so far right here. That car's fast. And knows his way around Kentucky. And there's Andre Ruiz right there in the P2 spot. Ruiz making a little bit of a run on it. He must have backed down and saved on the tire a little bit because he's able to close up a couple of tenths on Tommy Haynes. Andre Ruiz doing what he needs to do right now in this race. He's one of the ones that are outside of that top 12 too. So he needs to have really good luck right here at Kentucky, and he needs a couple of guys that have really bad luck in order to get into the top 12. But even at that, I mean, it's not going to slow the guy down. He's going to race for a win, no doubt about it. Andrew Maraz back here in third, though. He's faded off these guys a little bit. When I say faded off, he's about 1.8 seconds behind Andre Ruiz in second right now. And this driver right here has picked up another spot. Willie Nelson into the 4th position. Willie's got Michael Mueller, though, in that 51 closing in on him, but the 25's been able to run down the 28 of Andrew Maraz just a little bit. So I think Willie might be up there battling for third. But I don't know. By the time he gets up there, I think that 51 car behind him is going to be battling with him. So they'll be racing for third and fourth at that point. So watch out for the 25, but definitely watch that driver behind him. Michael Mueller driven the Speed Labs car right up to the top 5. I had a feeling earlier in the run that he was taking care of his tires, and I think I was right. The 51's really starting to turn it on now. Late in the run, I'm not sure on the fuel run. I mean, I could speculate around here, maybe 38, 30, in between 35 and 38 maybe. So Brian Tong, his position stabled out a little bit back here in 6th. BurstCloud.com car. Man, just a great race so far. See Jason Wells once again right behind him. Justin Gann right back there in 8th now. Mcfadden in 9th. So Cody Mcfadden dropping another spot here, but still safe. We're going to look for the 23 of Keith Vaughn. He's picked up a couple spots. Keith got the 23 up in the 21st position right now. So we got green flag pit stops happening. I seen the 3 on pit road. Now the 09's going to enter pit road. These green flag pit stops can cost you a race too. You don't want to make a mistake coming down on the pit road. Haynes is going to remain out another lap or 2 right here. We got Willie Nelson right behind him now in the 25, still out on the racetrack. Not right behind him, about 2.8 seconds behind him, but he's back there. 25's going to slow it down and sideways going on the pit road, but I believe he got her woed down enough right there. So Willie Nelson on pit road. Tommy Haynes going to keep her out on the track for another lap. If you stretch it here, it's definitely for fuel. I mean, you can stretch it a few extra laps here. It might be the difference in between one less pit stop or one more pit stop, whichever, as he's going to go around another time. So Haynes is going to keep it out here again, which not going to help him. Those guys are going to take advantage of having a shorter pit stop and the fresher tires out there for a while and pick up a little time on that 17. But I'll tell you, if this thing goes green the whole way, that 17 hanging out like this might have an advantage on him. A little bit more fuel. We know he's got a fast hot rod, so here comes the 17 car on lap 35. Going to get it woed down, going on the pit road right here. He's going to hand the lead over to the 64 car, Jason Wells. And Wells will assume that position now. That is until the 64 hits pit road. So, green flag pit stop started happening around lap 33 right here. 32 maybe. Wells not going to bring it down pit road this time. He's going to keep that car out there another lap. He's about 1.7 seconds over Darren Clement. We got a slew of drivers that haven't been to pit road just yet. So we definitely got them that haven't been there. I'm sure they'll go there, but they haven't been there yet. Now the 64's on pit road. He's going to hand the lead over to this car, the 33 of Terry Kahn. I know the chrome's blacked out here, but I still love the paint job. Not going to lie. I'm going to try changing the camera views around to see We'll go static view. Now 33 is going to come to pit road now. And I can tell you who the leader is going to be when this changes over. That driver right there, the 09 Andre Ruiz, will assume the lead through the green flag pit stop cycle. So when they go around this time, the 09 should go up on the board as the leader, and he does. And if you're looking at the gap or the distance here, back to second, it's going to be this driver, and he's 2.3 seconds behind. That's the 28 of Andrew Maraz. So Maraz in second right now after the green flag pit stops. Third's going to be handed to this driver, the 51 of Michael Mueller. And then we go back to fourth, and I think there's a battle. 25 of Willie Nelson in fifth right there. 97 of Nathan Moore has the fourth position. Willie Nelson is hunting for it, and a 3 of Roy Fernandez has moved into this battle too. So the 3 car looked to be a little bit of a winner through that pit cycle. Roy Fernandez going up and getting him a couple of spots. Mcfadden, though, we're keeping an eye on this one. This guy in the 23, we see that McFadden's in the 10th spot. Going around Cody Sleeper, though, right here. That'll be a battle for 9th. And it looks like Cody Mcfadden in the 13th is going to pick up the spot, as he does. So that'll move McFadden to 13th, and we're going to go find the 23. Ooh, Keith Vaughn must not have had a good green flag pit stop. The 23 is going to find himself a lap down right here, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do now. Vaughn will have a little work to do to dig himself out of this hole. But the good news is there's still plenty of time to do it for Keith Vaughn. And going back up front, the 02 car that you see right there that the leader's going by is David Kamara. And the lead's actually extended a little bit, a few tenths to 2.6 seconds for the 09 Andre Ruiz. So Ruiz getting up here in the fresh air is going to take advantage of it a little bit and try to stretch the lead out. But I'd say Maraz in the 28's taking care of his tires just a bit more, maybe to have something to run him down later in the run. But there is still a ways to go in the race, so anything could happen right now. As I've seen the 02, it looked like he went down and took that access road. So not sure what's going on with the 02 tonight. But we're going to look at the distance between this driver and his teammate, and it looks like it's 2.1 seconds that Mueller is behind Maraz. But Mueller doing a great job. I mean, right through the green flag race, and this driver, I believe he started around 10th or maybe just outside of the top 10. We've been green flagged the whole way, and he's worked himself up through one round of green flag pit stops and up into the top 3. So good run for him, and this driver right here as well, the 25 of Willie Nelson. We seen Willie's pit road entry. It was a little bit entertaining. He dirt tracked it going on the pit road, so we got a little entertainment off of that one. And Willie just a fast driver. He was fast in Darlington last week. He's showing speed right here at Kentucky tonight. But so's this driver, Nathan Moore, having a solid run. And I'll tell you what, we're going to go in car and through the field. We're going to start with the leader, and we're going to do it right now. So here's what it's like to have a 2.5 second lead on the field. That's the view of the 09 Andre Ruiz. Man, I tell you right now, that car's tight. You can hear that right front squealing. And Vaughn just went by him, so Keith Vaughn's going to get a lap back right here. I think the 23 might have stayed out a little longer on the pit cycling, and watching Ruiz drive that 09, make a lap around Kentucky Motor Speedway, and you can hear that right front squealing. That car's definitely tight. So we're going to go back to second place right here. I'm going to take about a half a lap or so with him. That's going to be the 28 of Andrew Maraz. Maraz, same thing. You hear that tire not happy. That wheel goes to the left, and that front tire is not happy. So we can definitely see a tight condition is what these drivers are facing here at Kentucky tonight. You're going to drive it right down there. I'm watching that gap go down, so he's picked up a full second on the leader so far. So let's go back to his teammate. You can look out his windshield and see Moraz up there in front of him a little ways. That's Michael Mueller in the 51. So we're going to take a lap with what I believe is the fastest driver. 6 wins ought to pretty much back up my statement with that one. But 6 wins on the season for Michael Mueller. I know he's going to be strong on the long run. And it just seems like the 51 is in the gas a little bit more than the other 2 that I've been on board with. And we'll have to see if that gap shrinks. We'll stay on here just a little bit longer. And actually, it went up a little bit. So Ruiz is quick right now. So now we're on board with the 25 of Willie Nelson sitting back in the 4th position. And if you look out his windshield, you'll see the back of the 51 of Michael Mueller. Looking at the overhead, the gap. Nelson out of the gas a long time right down here in 3 and 4. Taking it right out to the wall on that turn 4 exit. Craziness. All right, so back to the 5th spot. And this driver was the leader that led all the way from the start of the race to the first round of green flag pit stops. And Tommy stayed out a few laps, so he's got a few lap fresher tires than the guys in front of him. And I would have to think that with as tight as this car is, and man, he's really got the wheel cranked left. But it looks like he's closing the gap right there on Willie Nelson, so you can see what a few laps makes on the tires right here. Tommy Haynes currently back up to the 5th spot. We're going to go to 6th, one behind Haynes. We'll find that 97 of Nathan Moore. That's who we're on board with right now. Nathan, no fluke tonight. I mean, this driver has been up in the top 5 and 6 since we dropped the green flag, and the 97's having a great race. Coming across the start-finish line right here. Man, I can say it again, but it'd just be overstressing it, I think. I'm listening to them front tires, and that car is tight. It is not happy. So we're going to go on board with the 3 right here, Roy Fernandez. You can hear Roy working the throttle in that car. Might be a little quiet for you to hear in the broadcast, but I tried to turn it up, but it didn't. It didn't cooperate with me. So Fernandez has the lead. Or not the lead, I'm sorry. He's in 7th. We're on board with him, but he's not leading it. Ruiz still has the lead. Andre Ruiz in the 09. I'll tell you, Fernandez in 7th, though. He ain't real far out. So we're going to go back to 8th right here, and we're going to jump on board for a second with the 64 of Jason Wells. Wells having a great race so far, 55 laps in that 64 car. You can see the run that 64 gets off the corner. He's another one that stayed out just a little bit later. So he's got a lot fresher tires than the guys in front of him. And I'll tell you, we'll stay on board with him for maybe an extra corner or two because that's the 3 car. I want to see how quick he can catch the 3. He's got about 6-7 lap fresher tires than that 3 car in front of him. So we're going to see what kind of difference those tires make right now. I don't know, looking, riding on board with the 17, who was the leader when they started pitting. I want to see if 2 or 3 laps make a difference, with the car this tight, or if it really wasn't worth it for the guy to stay out a little bit longer. But where it could be worth it is on the long run and fuel economy. And that that'll remain to be seen a little later. But for now, I just want to see what 7 or 8 laps difference in the tires make. So we're still on board with the 8th place driver, the 64 of Jason Wells, and we're on board with him because of the difference in tires. He's catching the 3. See him working the bottom in 3 and 4 right here, and this seems to be where they got to get out of the gas the most. In fact, I heard a driver actually checking up coming out of 4. So that shows you how tight the race car is. And yes, you can see through turns 1 and 2 that the 64 is clearly faster right now. And the tires are definitely going to make a difference right here. And I would say that longer in the run, it might equalize a little bit more. But we'll watch 3 and 4s. The 64 is able to run just a little bit lower line, get a lot better run off the corner right here and down the straightaway. So let's go back to 9th place. That's going to be the 56 of John Wimbish. I'll tell you something important we seen earlier, and that was the 23 going around the leader, Keith Vaughn, because that's going to put Vaughn back on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it did. As we're on board with Wimbish. And Wimbish is going to come to pit road. We're going to see what it looks like on board to make a green flag pit stop. And we're going to jump on board right here with the 30 of Justin Gann. Gann currently running in the 9th position. Gann's doing what he needs to do to make it to Atlanta next week. Locked into the top 12 in the chase. And Justin Gann's having a good race at Kentucky. We got green flag pit stops, probably going to mess up my through the field, but we're going to try it anyway. Gann's going to pick up a lot of spots right here as these drivers are headed to pit road. So we'll go back to Cody Mcfadden, one of the drivers tied for 12th coming in. It's currently showing Cody in 8th. But before the green flag pit stops, I will confirm the 13 was actually back in the 11th position. So that's going to matter as we get down to the nitty-gritty in the points. And I believe the 13, yes, he's going to get on the binders and bring it to pit road right here. Ooh, a little bit of a rough entry, but he got her woed down, and that's all that matters. So we're going to get on board with the 7 of Brian Tong, currently showed in 8th, but we are doing green flag pit stops, and we're just going to try to get on the cars of drivers we haven't been on yet. We'll stay on board view with them for about a half a lap or so. And if you're a fan of this particular driver, you're welcome. If not, you may very well become a fan of this driver. Won't guarantee you won't. He might do something a little bit different that you like. Who knows? But the only way to find out is to ride on board with him. So let's go back one more. Last week's winner right here, the 32 of Darren Clement. Clement being scored in 8th, but I don't have to go over that again. We are under green flag pit stops right now, so these positions are going to change around. Now Clement's going to bring it to pit road. We're going to jump on board with the 91 of Blair Patterson. Patterson has about 27 laps on the tires this stint. And he's having a good race right here. So we'll go on board back one more to the 88 of Steve Law. Law's got about 28 laps on his tires as well, so he'll be coming to pit road pretty shortly here. You can see those cars going around him on the outside. That was a 97 and the 3, and that's the difference that the fresh tires make, literally. They just drive right by the guy. So here's a driver we haven't talked about. That's the 43 of John Kenyon. Kenyon sitting in 6th position right now. He's got about 28 laps on his tires. He has not come to pit road yet. He's going to move up to the 6th position currently. And we're going to jump back another one behind him, and that's the 82 of Mike Franklin. Those cars going by Franklin here are on fresh tires, so that's the difference that the tires are going to make right now as them guys come off pit road. And we back up to a important one here. We're on board now with the 23 of Keith Vaughn. Vaughn was tied with Mcfadden coming into here for that 12th position in points. So Keith Vaughn, we've seen him get his lap back around the leader. He's going to keep it out right here. We're 67 laps of 124. So we've passed the halfway point. About 5 laps ago, to be exact on it. And Vaughn playing a little bit different strategy right here. He's got about 30 laps on his tires. We're going to go on board with some of the ones we haven't been to yet. Here's the 56 of John Wimbish. I think we were on board with Wimbish when he come down pit road. So we'll switch off to that number 18 right here, Casey Duncan. Duncan made his pit stop right about 6 laps ago in the 18. So we're going to see what it's like to have 6-lap old tires around Kentucky. Jump up on board with Jonathan Cogswell in the 27. Cogswell currently shown in the 3rd position. Cars going by him there. Cogswell's got about 31 laps on his tires right now. So the leaders are all in the 30s on their tires. But Cogswell's a car that we hadn't been on board with, so we wanted to jump here and get on board with them. Now we'll find another driver we haven't been on board with yet. This is the 99 of Jarrett Lipster. Lipster currently sitting in the 18th position. He's got about 6 laps on his tires right now on this stint. Darren Clement, the next position in front of Lipster here. And Lipster was one of the guys that was just outside the top 12 maybe. The first one outside of it. So Jarrett Lipster in the 99 is one of the cars to keep an eye on for the chase for sure. We go behind him, we'll find the 0-1 of Cody Sleeper. Sleeper sitting 3rd in points, he's locked into it. I believe he had enough points to pretty much lock himself in there and punch his ticket to the championship. So the championship 5, we'll call it. You see Jason Wells in the 64 working to the inside right here. Wells has a lot fresher tires. Then we're going to go on board with the 96. This will be Cody Lipster. We were on board with Jarrett just a couple of laps ago. Now we're on board with Cody. See Cody right behind the 0-1. Cody Lipster behind the 0-1 of Cody Sleeper. 2-lap difference between these two cars, the 96 and the 0-1. Watch that 96 get on that apron a little bit. So we'll go on board with the 23rd place car, and that's going to be the 77 of Doug Neal. Trying to get on board with all the drivers tonight as we do our through the field right here for the Hyperdrive Cup Series drivers. He's going around the 43 car. Past the start finish line, and we're going to go back to that number 88 of Steve Long. I think we might have been on board with Steve already, but we'll ride with him for a little bit here, and we'll head back to the front of the field because we still have a driver that hasn't pitted yet. And right here's that driver. I think he might come to pit road this time. He stretched it out for 37 laps. So 37 laps for John Kenyon in the 43. He's going to bring it to pit road. That's going to change things up a little bit in the lead, and I'll show you. Oh, we're under caution, 28 car. Oh, no. So I am not sure what happened right there, but we are going to find out. Going to back that up with an instant replay, and watching the 28, keeping an eye on him right here, 09 car. It's a battle for the lead and contact. That's going to put the 28 around in the wall, collect the 88 of Steve Lull, and that's going to bring out caution number 1 on lap 76. So, man, green flag pit stops went through, and just a quick change of events like that takes the leader. Man, there's some damage on the car. I mean, he made pretty heavy contact with the outside wall. Oh, I didn't really want to do that, but we'll back it up one more time. They go around a lap car, and I don't know what happened, but just really tight racing right here. That's why they have admins over here, and these guys do a great job taking care of it. So we'll leave the policing up to them. We're just going to check it out one more time. Battle for the lead, and man, just unfortunate right there. And Steve Lull, nowhere to go in the 88 car. He's going to get some damage over it. And these are the 2 cars that are affected in this caution. We go back to live TV, and the leaders are going to hit pit road right here. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, I think. Just a quick one. All right, lights go out on the pace car this time. That means we're going to pace it around one more time and get back to green. It looked like the 09 might have taking a penalty from that caution flag as he's going to restart in the rear of the field. And that's going to shake it up, and it's going to put the 51 and the 25 on front row. Michael Mueller, 6 wins on the season. Going to lead us to the restart. 25 of Willie Nelson going to be right next to him. Then back there in the second row, you got the 3 of Roy Fernandez, the 56 of John Wimbish. See Justin Gannon, the 30, restarting 5th. Just what I said, we're going to get ready for our first restart of the race. We've had 1 caution flag in 79 laps. So here we go. Lights are out on the pace car coming through turn 4. We're going to wait for that pace car to duck off, and I'll guarantee you we're going to get back to some green flag racing. Pace car is ducked off, and there goes the leader, and we're back to green flag racing in Kentucky with the Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series. 51 of Michael Mueller going to take advantage of that restart, get out in front of that 25 of Willie Nelson. Roy Fernandez, though, back there in the 3, don't want to give him a lot of room right now. We've seen that lone green flag run, and these guys know that it might go green the rest of the way, so you're going to have to dig for what you can get right here. And some of those guys are doing it. 30 car Justin Gann moving into the picture. 56, John Wimbish. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I see that 13 of Cody Mcfadden right here. Battling side by side with the 17, now the 18 of Casey Duncan. So 13 sitting at about the ace spot. I'll tell you, the guy we watched take the waiver round, though, that was the 23 of Keith Vaughn. So this, oh no, little contact with the 13, going to move him up by the outside wall. McFadden's got to be careful right here, having some problems on lap 82. He's going to get it straightened out, save the car from any more damage than that. But, man, that's bad right there. You don't want to get caught up in no wrecks. We've seen the 88 of Steve Law be unfortunate on the last caution with the 28. And, man, you hate it for those guys. There's no fast repair, so you don't want to see a guy tear up his race car right here. Especially a guy that's racing hard to be in that top 12 like the 13 is. Meanwhile, back up front, Willie Nelson has not let Michael Mueller go anywhere. And Fernandez hasn't let either one of them go anywhere. And Justin Gann certainly not letting the top 3 go anywhere. And we got a race for the lead. Willie Nelson going to throw her to the bottom. I don't think it's going to be enough as they come out of the turn. Nope. The 51's going to be a little stronger, and Fernandez is going to put on a light show for us, throwing a little sparks out there. Great racing right here. It looks like the pressure's mounting on the back bumper now between the 3 and the 25. So Willie Nelson got a look underneath the 51, but he couldn't do nothing with him. You see the 3 of Fernandez doing exactly what he needs to do right here on lap 84. That's just keep those guys in check. The 51, you got to be careful. You definitely don't want that guy to drive away from you. He's going to be a hard one to run down later in the race. And that might have been why the 25 worked so hard on his tires, to try to get by him a little bit early. You can get by a guy, you might take him off his game a little bit. But I'm going to tell you that 51's one cool customer. You don't get the wins that he's got by not being. And he finds himself in the right place at the right time at the end of these races right here towards the end of them. That's definitely the right place at the right time. He's going to open up the gap about 3/10 on this driver, the 25 of Willie Nelson. Nelson's still got a pretty good rear view mirror full of this 3-car Roy Fernandez, though. So Fernandez isn't going away, and then Fernandez mirror that 30-car Justin Gann. He's not going away either. And this top 4 they're under a blanket. I don't think they want to be under one right now, but they're under it. See the 25 looking like he's going to mount another attack up there, but we're going to go back a little bit farther. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to check on a couple of drivers. The 12 right here, Cody Mcfadden. You see right behind him is that 99 of Lipster, and Lipster is another driver that was battling for a position. And I just seen something happen with, I think it was Ruiz, made a little contact with the outside wall in the 09 car. He was outside of the 32 of Darren Clement when I seen it happen, but it's going to put quite a bit of damage on the right side of that 09. And, man, I mention it. It seems like race after race, you got to get it cleaned up. You got to close one of these things out. Meanwhile, back up front, 89 laps complete right now. The 25 is he's hunted down the 51's bumper once again. So I think we may see a race for the lead. I don't know. Maybe the 51's just driving the mirror a little bit and working the throttle and saving on the tire. You know, he might be toying with us and the 25 both. We don't know that yet. We don't know it for a fact anyway, but we're going to find out. As we got 34 laps to go, 34 more laps to put the regular season into the books. Race number 10 right here for the Hyperdrive Cup Series. And once that's into the book, we'll tell you who the top 12 in points are. And we're going to watch those guys battle it out over 5 races starting in Atlanta next week. Man, what a great race. I think we're just about ready to get a battle for third. Justin Gannon is right there hunting it. You see Fernandez in the 3 working a little bit higher line. Gann working the bottom of the racetrack in the 30. Gann's going to get a little bit of a run out of the corner, and he might, I thought he might look under him, and he does. 30's going to take a peek to the inside down in 3 and 4. You just got to have that room coming off of 4. You know, you got to have that racetrack to use up coming off of 4 there. And I don't think the 30 had it, but he might have a good position down here in 1 and 2. He's going to get side by side with the 3 car. Now he's going to pull a nose ahead down the back straightaway. But the 3's going to have a little more momentum than he does. And the 30's going to clear him down here into turn 3. So there's a change for third place. Justin Gann moving up. Fernandez, though, looking for the crossover move at the start-finish line. He's going to put a nose back underneath of the 30. Down here in 1 and 2, Gann might hold to his outside. Yes, the 30 is going to hold to his outside. But the 3's going to fight strong right there on the bottom. So coming into 3, is the 3 going to sell it off there and clear the 30? It don't look like it. So Justin Gann will have the momentum out of 4, and he'll maintain the position. And the 3's got he's got to race that 56 now. So he went from racing the 30 for position to trying to fend off that 56 of John Wimbish. Wimbish coming on late in the race right here, and another one coming on is that 17 right there, Tommy Haynes. Haynes led the first 30 laps of this thing, 33 laps before they started green flag pit stops, and Tommy stayed out a little bit longer, and he hasn't been able to recover since then. He's up to the 6th position right now in the 17 car, and I'll be honest with you, I think he might have a little damage on that back bumper. He does. I don't know how he got it there or who got in the back of the 17, but somebody went bang to the back bumper on that car. There's no doubt about it. So it's a little wadded up, but it don't look like it's affecting the aero, and the 17's getting around the racetrack pretty good right here. So we go back one more to the 64. Jason Wells right behind that 17. 29 laps to go, so 29 laps to go. I'm pretty sure we'll see green flag pit stops once again. Keith Vaughn a lap down in the 23 car. He was the one tied with Cody Mcfadden for that final spot in points. McFadden's in 11th right now. Vaughn is a lap down in 21st, so there's about 10 positions between them. And you see the 23 going by the 28 of Andrew Maraz right here. Maraz sitting in the 16th position. but it does look like the damage on that car is affecting the speed of it a little bit. Man, you hated it. Maraz had so much momentum, not just coming into Kentucky, but definitely going to carry it on through the chase. So that 28 car certainly had the speed tonight, leading a race right there. Lead changed over. I don't know what happened to the 51. I bet he come to pit road. No, he's coming to pit road right now in the 51. He may have had some problems and got a penalty or something because he's being scored a lap down. So we definitely got a big change right here late in the race. He's going to bring it down pit road. We're going to take a look and see if this is a penalty maybe. Maybe speeding off pit road. Now he's going to take it right down to the attention of his crew right here. And the car's going to go up on the jacks, so I don't know if the 15 might have gotten a wall, turned itself around, or what went on with him. But he's going to hand the lead over to this driver. That's the 25 of Willie Nelson, and he's going to have that lead by about 0.8 of a second right here. But we do know that they're going to have to make some more pit stops. We just don't know who's going to do it when. That's the mystery right now, right there. That is the mystery. Who's going to pit when? The 25 is going to bring it to pit road now, and he's going to do it sideways once again. Dirt tracking the entry to pit road. Look at Gannon bringing it in hot right behind him in the 30. Man. That is racing. So this is going to be the final pit stop for these drivers. 2 tires, 4 tires. Well, I'm going 4. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going 4. Watch the leader get to his pit stall right here. Car will go up on the jacks. Yep, there's the right sides. Down. Up. Left side's on the jack, so it's going to be a 4-tire stop for the leader there, Willie Nelson, and he's going to burn her off of pit road. And right in front of the 30 of Justin Gann, just like they entered pit road, and they're going to get back to racing right here. And we're going to go on board with, or up to the leader. That's the 7 car, Brian Tong. Tong got him a little damage right there, too. I don't know if that was on the restart or when that happened. I don't, but the back of that car kind of matches the back of the 17. As you see the 51 storming right up to the front. He is going to be getting a lap back right here, but he had a couple of them to get back. I think he's still going to be a lap down even after taking that lap right there back. So the 51 of Michael Mueller definitely put himself in a little bit of a hole right there. It could have been as simple as him missing pit road. You know, trying to make a stop a little bit early and missing pit road and messing the whole thing up. Or who really knows? I just know he's back in 20th position and he got one of his laps back, but he's still lap down. Tong's going to go to pit road. The 43 right here of John Kenyon is going to take over as your leader. Kenyon's got about 30 laps on those tires, so he's going to have to come to pit road pretty quickly as Cody Sleeper in the 0-1 goes by. Now the 23. Keith Vaughn in the Burst Cloud car is going to go by. 17 right here, Tommy Haynes going to work himself by. 64 right there, Jason Wells. 97 of Nathan Moore. Those guys are on fresh tires, so they're just trying to get up to the front right here. Or get around the leader to get a lap back. There's the 91 of Blair Patterson. 18 of Casey Duncan. Watching the fresh tires go around and get their laps back. 96, Cody Lipster. 13 of Cody Mcfadden. So John Kenyon. 19 laps to go, your race leader. 99 of Jarrett Lipster behind him on fresh tires going for a lap back. And wow, That was close. 99 having to get on the binders right there. I think he thought the 43 might give him the outside, and the 99. The 43 moved up a little bit, and the 99 had to get on the binders to keep from hitting him. So he's got about 33 laps on the stint. Another driver who stayed out is this driver, the 28, Andrew Maraz. We see Maraz involved in the earlier incident. There is damage on the car. Don't look that bad, though. The back end is definitely beat up, but the car don't look terrible. But Maraz has stayed out for 30 laps right now. As you see, Mueller in the 51 going to go around him. Doug Neal in the 77. So these two, Kenyon in the 43 and the 28 of Andrew Maraz, have not been on pit road for their final stop. And the first car that has is right here. That's the 25 of Willie Nelson. Willie getting it done right here. Been fast since the drop of the green flag. .25 able to take the lead after the 51 had some trouble on pit road. And he's going to take advantage of it. 16 laps to go. He's going around the 28 of Andrew Maraz right now. That will be for position. I think Maraz is going to take that car on the pit road. He does. He's going to take it to the attention of his crew. Kenyon, 35 laps on the run. He ain't bringing it to pit road yet. He's got about 16 and a half seconds over that 25 car, Willie Nelson. He has not been on pit road. He's going to show us just how many laps we can put on a tank of fuel right here, I think. He has 36 laps on him on fuel right now. He's going to come down for another opportunity to pit, and he's going to stay out one more time. That'll take us to 37 laps on the old tank of fuel right now. 14-second lead. And 37 laps on those tires. I don't know if that guy can go around here another 14. I don't know if he can. You might have 10, 20, 30,000 feet of extra fuel line or something. I don't know. You can see that 43 bringing it out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. Going to keep her out another lap. 38 laps on that tank now. When he does, or if he does bring it to pit road, it'll hand the lead over to this driver right here, the 25 of Willie Nelson. Nelson's got Gann behind him about a second right now. We've seen those two come off pit road together, but Gann's only got Fernandez back by about a second in the 3 car. So after the 43 pits, or when they run the 43 down, because they're chasing them down pretty good. You see 12 seconds is a gap now, so they've made up about 6 or 7 seconds on this driver just since we've been paying attention to it. So the 43, 11 seconds up on that second place car with a lot fresher tires. He's got 39 laps on the fuel run now, and now he's going to come to pit road. So John Kenyon going to bring that car down pit road, get him some fuel. He was able to make it about 40 laps on that tank. Pretty impressive right there. But fuel don't matter for these drivers. Your new leader when they come across the line, that 25, Willie Nelson. Nelson, you see the gap, and that's the correct gap right there next to his name. 1 second over the 30 of Justin Gann. We got 11 laps to go right now. 1 caution flag tonight. Here's what we need to look at. 11th place right here is the 13 of Cody Mcfadden. And 5 positions behind him, back in the 16th spot, is going to be the 23 of Keith Vaughn. So 10 to go. 5 points between these two drivers right here, between the 23 and the 13. And we'll go back to the front of the field. 1.1 seconds is the advantage for this driver, the 25 of Willie Nelson. And that's over this driver right here, the 30 of Justin Gann. And then another 1.2 seconds over this driver, and that's the 3 of Roy Fernandez. So that is your top 3 right now, your podium. 4th place back here behind Fernandez a little bit is the pole sitter tonight. That's the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Haynes had a fast race car, and he just a little bit different strategy on that first round of pit stops, and I think that pretty much put Tommy in a hole that's just been hard to climb out of. Maybe he should have come down with those leaders. I don't know. Jason Wells, though, that 64 doing it once again. Got it up here in the top 5 late in the race. That Alienware machine seems to find his way forward when the laps wind down. So good job once again for Jason Wells. You go back one more. Last week's winner, Darren Clement. Not talked about him a lot tonight, but he's up here in the top 6. Looks like he's got Cody Sleeper in the 0-1 right on the bumper, but Clement late in the race, as well as Cody Sleeper, having good runs right here. Blair Patterson up in the top 10 now. He's in the 8th position in the 91. So Blair having a good run. You can see that 6th, 7th, and 8th is all right here together. And Casey Duncan in 9th right behind him right here. And in 10th right there, you got the 97 of Nathan Moyer, and he's under fire right now from the 13, Cody Mcfadden. Mcfadden trying to race his way into the top 12 in points. Every position counts. One more position he picks up is one more that he puts on this driver, who's in 16th. That's Keith Vaughn. And he's racing the 99 of Lipster, but I think Lipster's back a little bit now. Jarrett Lipster. Well, he's not back much. He's in the 13th spot. So Cody Mcfadden is going to move into the top 10 in the 13, and that's going to be important. But 1.4 seconds up front right now with 4 laps to go. That's the 25, the 25 of Willie Nelson. So Nelson able to build on the lead late right here. Man, this guy was fast in Darlington last week. Rocket ship ran into some problems. Couldn't quite finish it off, but the seas have so far parted for him perfectly tonight here in Kentucky. 3 laps to go. 51 of Mueller had him back a little bit. Mueller had a fast race car, and right before we took this last round of stops, the 51 had some problems, and that handed the lead over to the 25. And man, he's set sail with that race car since then. 1.6 seconds the advantage right now. Going to be 2 to go when this driver gets back to the line. I'm sure he's going to be happy to see the white flag, because then it won't end under caution. There won't be no green-white checker. 1.9 seconds. The 25 still stretching the lead out. A couple of more tenths right there. Coming off of turn 2, down the back straightaway. The 43's on fresher tires. He's just going to let them go. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time at Kentucky. Out of turn 4, down the front straightaway. Your winner at Kentucky for the Swift Motorsports Hyperdrive Cup Series is going to be the 25 of Willie Nelson. So great job, Willie Nelson. Justin Gann getting it done. 2nd position right here at Kentucky. Great race for that 30 car. Back on the podium. Going to get him back in the broadcast booth for another interview after this one. And Roy Fernandez, great job to you, buddy. I am going to stick around because I want to see how the points get tallied out when it gets updated. and what our top 12 is going to look like. But we're going to check it out real quick because I can tell you that this driver right here, I'm pretty sure, did what he needed to do to lock himself into that top 12. And that's the 13 of Cody Mcfadden. Late in the race, those positions were important. We've seen him fall back as far as 12th to 13th, and Cody did a great job getting himself back up into the top 10. But we're going to go on board with the 25, and I expect we're going to see some burnouts right here. We're going to see something. I expect that. So congratulations, Willie Nelson. Great drive tonight. We'll get him up here in the booth. I got to find him. Willie Nelson, you got a copy, buddy? Willie Nelson, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, what can I say about that 25 car, buddy? You were fast at Darlington last week, but you turned it on this week, and that last pit cycle just worked out perfectly for you. Tell us about it, Willie.
Well, I planned on throwing 4 tires in there and splitting the run, and a few guys didn't, and we didn't have enough fuel to make it to the end, so I took advantage of them pitting and took off with the win.
You took it right off. You had, I'll tell you, had that 30 car, though, close to your bumper when you left pit road on that final stop. So what were you thinking then?
Well, I was kind of worried, but I knew that first run that I burned off my tires just trying to get Michael to use his stuff up in that first run. But if I knew if I could just get ahead of him and put a lap car between us, that I could drive away from him and save my stuff and probably stay ahead of him, if not put up a fight. So I was able to drive away from him and stay ahead of him by like a second and took the win.
Yeah, that 25 car is a hot rod here, man, and it was a hot rod at Darlington last week, a little bit of a heartbreaker for you, but I think this makes up for it, don't it, Willie?
Yeah, definitely appreciate it, and the show that these guys put on, nice of them to let me come out and race.
So one caution flag for you guys tonight. You got to make a lot of green flag pit stops, and I'll tell you, it'll show on the broadcast if you rewatch it, but you were letting it hang out coming to pit road, man. You were dirt tracking it.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Anytime I'm racing asphalt or oval and I'm coming in the pits for a green flag stop, I let it all hang out. I'm either speeding or I'm making it in, balls blazing.
Well, that's how you do it, man, and you showed us that certainly tonight when we paid attention to it. But man, that 25 car just it pulling off performances like you have. I think you need to have a name on that car.
Yeah, that'd definitely be appreciated. 'Cause I ain't got no sponsors in the virtual world or in the real world, so I definitely am looking for some of those.
Well, I know in the virtual side of it right now, you're headed the right direction for that, Willie, and that tonight shows it, man. Great job. You have anyone you want to thank while we got you up in the booth, buddy?
Yeah, I want to thank my girlfriend for letting me do this thing, because I was talking to her earlier today, and she asked me if I was gonna race here tonight, and I'm like, nah, I'm probably not gonna do that. It was just a one-time thing, and she told me, you probably should, because they were saying it'd be cool to see you back racing, and I'm like, you know what, regular season's still going on. I'll just do it one more time before they start the chase. So, gotta thank her, and thank my buddies Cody and Jarrett for telling me about the Swift Racing League. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great league for sure, and you can tell by the competition level and the lack of caution. Some guys race you pretty clean out there, and congratulations, Willie Nelson. Soak it up. Go give the girlfriend a big kiss for letting you come in here tonight, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Hopefully we'll see you in some more of these, Willie.
Hopefully, yeah.
It'd be pretty cool, too, so good luck to you if you come back at Atlanta next week, buddy.
All right, thank you.
So that was your race winner, Willie Nelson. And we're going to find our P2 finisher. I think we know this guy. I believe he might own the league. Justin Gann, Vern Bradley up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, Vern. What's up?
Man, that 30 car was fast, but it looked like you just needed a little bit more to get to the 25 there.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy with second place. Michael had some issues, and I think he would have won it, and so that got me a spot. And then that caution that came out, there was no way I was getting to the front without that caution, and luck just went my way tonight.
Yeah, it fell at the right time, but the 30 car was moving forward. I think you started, was it just outside of the top 10 tonight or right around the top 10?
Yeah, I think I started about 12th.
Yeah, you started about 12th, and, we can't underscore watching the 30 pick your way through there under that long green flag run before we got that first and only caution.
Oh, yeah. I definitely try to save those tires and work my way up. Try not to burn them up too quick, and typically that works out for me pretty well.
Well, we could see that you had a long run car for sure, but man, did you think more laps there after you guys pitted that last time would have helped you with the 25 or?
Yeah, I think I would have had a good shot, but when I came out of the pits, I had some fast cars coming up behind me. Roy, he came up quick, and I ended up having to get out to the wall there and got stuck behind a slower car, and that kind of set me back a little bit. But I honestly think Willie was just a lot faster than me, and I don't see me being able to beat him here tonight.
Well, with that said, we know that this ties up the regular season. We're going into the chase, and you're locked into the chase, Justin. So you're one
That's right.
You're one of the 12 drivers competing, and I would think that this is going to give you a little bit of momentum going to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I love Atlanta. I'm pretty good at that track, so I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a win there. But again, our field is getting stout, and drivers, they're respectful and clean, and we're getting these long green flag runs. So hopefully it stays that way and it works in my favor.
Well, and you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we're 10 races in the season, and if I add all 10 races together, I can't count the number of cautions on one hand.
That's what we'd like to hear.
That's pretty impressive right there, and one caution flag right here at Kentucky tonight. But the 30 car definitely had speed in it, and man, you come out right. You gained on him going on the pit road that last stop.
Oh yeah, he got a little squirrely there. I was like, oh man, I hope you don't leave it in front of me.
You gained on him, but your pit stops were actually almost identical, Justin.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good all around racer, and I definitely look forward to racing more with him and hopefully beating him out next time.
Yeah, he had a pretty good hot rod in Darlington last week, and man, I knew he was going to be a competitor when he was in the field tonight. But it worked out. Justin, you have anyone you want to thank while we got you in the booth, buddy?
Yeah, I got to thank 4X, me and KC Duncan down there tonight, working together and talking through the strategy. Both of us in the top 10, so we definitely had a good night. I got to thank RB Riggs for sponsoring the Toyota, and thank all the admins and you for putting on the broadcast.
Well, thank you, Justin. I appreciate you guys putting up with me week in and week out, and we've made it 10 races through the Cup Series this season, the Hyperdrive Cup Series, and you guys ain't fired me or kicked me out of here yet, so that must be a good sign.
Hey, you're making us look good, brother.
Man, I'll tell you guys, I'm not making you look good. You guys make me look good. You guys put on some great racing. It's competitive. It's very clean. And it really shows anybody that watches from another league how it should be done.
We're looking to grow for next season, so if anybody's out there looking for a league, definitely come check us out, because we definitely need more like-minded drivers in here.
You guys have carried a good field in a Cup Series this season, and I think you have in all the series, actually. And I see the Discord hopping all the time, so... Those are good signs, Justin. Good signs, man. And congratulations on the top 3. Good luck to you in the chase. And we're going to be looking forward to seeing the 30 car up front of the Atlanta, buddy.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
So that's second place finisher Justin Gannon, the 30. And we're going to go find Roy Fernandez. I think I see him down there. Roy Fernandez, Vern Bradley up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. I hear you.
Man, you had the 3-car pointed in the right direction. You just fell a couple spots short. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough battle out there, man. I felt like the 3 different runs essentially that we had were almost completely different as far as like the grip. But we had a strategy going pretty well, and it was working very well for us actually. Because on that first run, I think I was running in like 14th, 13th place, and when we pit, I jumped up to like 5th place, 6th place, and I held that position there for a little while with my teammates, and just fell back a little bit more. But we caught back up. That caution came out, and we just had a completely different strategy towards the end. But we finished with the top 3, so I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said last week, I don't want to cause a caution or get involved in a wreck or anything, so I can solidify being in the chase, and that's what I came to do.
Well, it worked out for you, man. I don't know whatever strategy it was you guys had there, but it got you up in the top 3 and on the podium and right up here in the broadcast booth. And, man, I'll tell you, it's nice to finish on that podium when you're headed to the chase, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a relieving feeling to know that you're safe. I had one of my buddies just fell 2 points short, so kind of sucks. But
Who was that by chance?
Nate Maurer. It's just 2 points short of 12th place.
Yeah,
so.
He sure was. I'm looking at it right now, and knowing that I'm looking at it, and I don't know if you're looking at it, but I see a new second place driver in points going to Atlanta. Well, actually, you guys are all tied, aren't you? Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought I finished in 3rd. Well, yeah, I think we all tied in points.
Yeah, you're all tied. It
going to the
reset you,
chase.
so it's going to show you at second because you all have 1,000 points going to the chase. So nobody has no bonuses or advantage there, but that's a good sign, right? When you're equal back out and everything's equal going to Atlanta.
Absolutely. It's time to put up or shut up now.
And you got a little bit of momentum coming out of Kentucky here and headed to another 1.5-mile track with Atlanta. I know they do race different, but
it's a 1.5-mile track, with a 2nd place finish last week, 3rd place finish tonight. Maybe I can get a 1st place finish at Atlanta, so we'll see.
I'm seeing the momentum with the 3-car, Roy. I really am. I've seen it lately on these broadcasts, man. And I'll tell you what, it's good to have you up here in the booth again and talk to you. And I do wish you luck in the chase. You have anyone you want to thank while we got you up here?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Vern. I got to thank Swift Motorsports. This league has been really awesome this entire season. A lot of quality drivers, a lot of real hard competitive racing. I got to thank my team, Simbox Motorsports, the owner, Doug Neal, and the teammates, Cody Sleeper and Nate Maurer. With our strategies and our team racing, we try to do pretty well when we finish and such. So, and then obviously the wife, Marissa upstairs when she tunes in. So that's about it.
Man, that's awesome, Roy. Awesome seeing you get up here on the podium again. And, man, I wish you luck going to the chase. Want to see that 3-car do well.
I appreciate it, Vern. Me too. Praise Dale.
You're well. That's right. Praise Dale, man. Have a good one and good luck at Atlanta, Roy.
I appreciate it, Vern. Have a good night.
Roy Fernandez right there, finishing in the top 3, and we're going to do a couple of things before I get out of here tonight. We are going to look at our chase drivers going into Atlanta because the points, like I said, are updated. The slate is clean. Everything is evened out. So all the drivers, the points have been reset for these top 12 drivers in points, and here you go. Not in any particular order. So I'm going to put that out there, not in any particular order. But your chase field. So these 12 drivers going for the championship. Jonathan Cogswell in the 27 is in the chase. Roy Fernandez finished 3rd tonight, is in the chase. The 82 of Mike Franklin is also in the chase. Justin Gannon, the number 30. Yep, you guessed it. He's in the chase. Tommy Haynes, number 17, in the chase. A lot of momentum lately. 17's going to be 30, 17, 3. Watch out for him. Cody Mcfadden in the 13. He did it. He did what he needed to do. He got in the top 10 in the race, and he locked it in, and Cody Mcfadden is in the chase. Andrew Maraz, what a heartbreaker for the driver of the 28 tonight. He has been a rocket for the last several weeks, and I don't think that's going to go away going into the chase in Atlanta next week. But Andrew Maraz is locked into the chase. With 6 wins on the season, it was a shoo-in that the 51 of Michael Mueller would be in the chase. So Michael Mueller also in the chase here. Blair Patterson in the 91. You guessed it, he's in the chase. Cody Sleeper, solid performance this season in points in the 0-1 car. Yep, he's in the chase. Jason Wells in the 64. Top 5 here tonight, I believe. Yes, 5th place tonight at Kentucky. And he's going to lock it in the chase. And your final chase driver for the Hyperdrive Cup Series at Swift Motorsports, John Wimbish in the 56. So those are your 12 chase drivers racing for a championship. And then we got a slew of other drivers that are going to be racing for the win over those final 5 races. Looking at the Cup Series schedule, we're going to go to Atlanta next week for chase race number 1. We're going to back that up at Michigan for chase race number 2. Chase race number 3 will be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Then we're going to go to a short track of Richmond for the 4th chase race. And we're going to end it at Phoenix on April 15th. So we got 5 races to go. 12 drivers racing for that Cup Series championship here at Swift Motorsports in the Hyperdrive Cup Series. So, with that, I still got a little breath left, and we're going to take a look at the race results tonight. Willie Nelson, fast in Darlington, getting it done tonight right here at Kentucky. The 25 car is a winner. 30 car Justin Gannon, lighting it up at the right time. 2nd place finish, good momentum going to Atlanta and starting to race for the championship. Same with the 3 car Roy Fernandez in 3rd. Same with the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Same with that 5th place driver, the 64 Jason Wells. Then we got last week's winner right there, Darren Clement, the 32, going to sneak it in 6th here. Blair Patterson, solid race for him in the 91, finishing 7th. Cody Sleeper in the 0-1, quietly just kind of sneaking in to the 8th place finish tonight, and he's in the chase. Casey Duncan in the 18, a little bit of a heartbreaker. He missed the chase by a couple of points, I believe. So Duncan's on the outside of it. But good finish in the top 10 right here, 9th position. We'll see where he finished. I think he might have been actually the 13th place guy. No, actually, that was Nathan Moore. Okay. I was wrong on that. I had to go back and look at the points, you see. So, Casey Duncan, 9th. Cody Mcfadden raced his way in. He started 9th in the race. He finished in the top 10. He got that top 10 position on like the last lap of the race. So, great job, Cody. You deserve it, and you are locked into the chase. And then I'm going to get back to what I was doing. I think I got out of order from what I was looking at there to do other stuff, but I think we got them all covered. We did, John Wimbish being the final one there. So that is your chase field, and we're looking at the results now. That's your top 10. 11th, we got the 97 of Nathan Moore. Nathan was actually the guy that missed it by just a couple of points in the 97 for making the 12-driver chase. But he's going to bring it home at 11th right here at Kentucky tonight. Jarrett Lipster in the 99, another one that wasn't back real far. And he's going to bring it home 12th. Cody Lipster in the 96, 13th. 14th is going to be the 7 of Brian Tong, and 15th was the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. 16th, he was tied with Mcfadden. He finished about 6 spots back right there. That's the 23 of Keith Vaughn. John Kenyon, we got to see the 43 out front. Stayed out on, I believe, 40 laps on a tank of fuel one time that I watched that 43 stay out. He's going to finish at 17th. Michael Mueller, a little bit of problems, but don't let that take away from how dominant that 51 car has been this season. He's going to finish 18th. John Wimbish in the 56, he's going to finish 19th. Andrew the Rocket Maraz in the 28. He's going to finish 20th after a little bit of problems here tonight. 21st going to go to the 82 of Mike Franklin, and 22nd was the 77 of Doug Neal. Another driver with some issues tonight was the 09 of Andre Ruiz. He's going to bring it home 23rd. 24th is going to be the 88 of Steve Lowe. 25th is the 02 of David Kamara. And 26th, we'll see the 33 of Terry Kahn. And Shane Bliss, I don't believe he made a start tonight in the 100, but he's going to be shown 29th on the field. And that's going to do it for the race results, and that's going to do it for the broadcast tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you that tune in to the broadcast week in and week out and show your support for the guys over here at Swift Motorsports in the Hyperdrive Cup Series. I appreciate it. They appreciate it, I'm sure. Like it, share it, do whatever you can. Let's get it out there. These guys deserve it. Handful of cautions in 10 races. Competitive field. 12 drivers going to the chase next week. I'm telling you right now, it's been good all season, but it's about to get really good. So tune in next week when we're at Atlanta Motor Speedway for chase race number 1 of 5. And I'm Vern Bradley in the WFO Racing Network booth. I will see you next Thursday night. Thank you for tuning in and have a great night.